Investment advisory and financial planning services are offered through Simplicity Wealth LLC and SEC registered investment advisor. SEC registration does not constitute nor endorse of the firm, nor does it indicate that the advisor has attained a particular level of skill nor ability. Investing involves risk of loss. Insurance, consulting, and education services offered through Diamond Life Planning is a separate and unaffiliated entity from Simplicity Wealth. This information is provided as a general information that is not intended to be specific financial guidance. Before you make any decisions regarding your personal financial situation, you should consult a financial or tax professional to discuss your individual circumstances and objectives.
Welcome to the Rock My Finances show on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV, where we put the fun in finance. Join Powerhouse Jennifer Joseph, CDFA, CMC, and Private Wealth Advisor, as she collaborates with you to create clarity, control, and confidence with your money, your way. It's not about the zeros, so what is it all about? Let's find out. Now here's your host and weekly friend, Jennifer Joseph.
Hey y'all, welcome back. This one's a goodie, retirement planning for women. All the things that nobody really told us and didn't plan. I know that we learn a lot about money on the internet. We're researching and we're listening to news, radio stations, news stations, our friends, our neighbors, our family, whatever. So there's lots of things that are not out there that are particularly important for women. And you all know that I'm pro-woman. I want to make sure that we are all taken care of. So today we're going to learn how it affects women at some point in their life, retirement planning. And just so you all know, if you don't think this is you because your spouse is going to take care of your retirement, guess what? 90% of women will handle their own money sometime in their lifetime. Sorry, but that's the statistics I learned years ago. It's probably even worse now. I don't know, but just count on the fact that we need to know about money, but we need to love it too. I don't want you to do it because you're afraid of it. I want you to do it because you love it. And it's not about the numbers and it's not about the account as much as how much do I need? How much am I going to outlive? Like I researched today as well. And it's the number one question is, how much money do I need for retirement? Well, it's not about that because everyone is completely different, which is why you need a custom financial plan or review for yourself. So I do very simple complimentary reports for people because they are hearing these great big numbers and they're just not accurate for each individual person. So what we're going to first talk about is the emotional side of retirement, because guess what? It's emotional, and planning for women is very different than planning for men. Women spend our years taking care of everyone else first. So we have children that we might not be working as hard for, as long for. We might have taken off 15 years to raise the kids. We have our parents. I'm caring for my mom right now, and it takes a lot of time during the week. And she's in an assisted living facility, and it still takes a lot of time and money and gas and extra things for me. So we also care for our ailing spouses. I know a friend with her bad back. Her husband has a bad back. He's had several surgeries. So she's luckily in retirement, but if they weren't, how are you going to care for your spouse when they have surgery or something's happening, right? Careers. Sometimes we put all of our energy into the most highest earner person in that couple. And then the other one takes a back seat for a while. Traditionally, that would be women in the past helping the man get to his career. But now I think it's switched a little bit. But when I was growing up, that's what it was traditionally. Homes. We spend a lot of time taking care of our homes that maybe not everyone do. Businesses, relationships. We take a lot of time taking care of everything else first. Children, parents, spouses, careers, homes, businesses, relationships. That comes before our retirement. That's more important most of the time. Now, I sit down and do a risk tolerance questionnaire and a financial questionnaire for all of my clients. And they, most of the time, put retirement planning in the first, at least the top two, maybe top three at the most. But it is important to them, but they're not doing it. Then I look at where the dollars are going. It's not going to the retirement. People don't trust all the retirement plans out there now, which they not necessarily should. Just because it says to do it doesn't mean that it was right for us. So we do need to have a custom look at what you're doing, what your lifespan is, what your marriage is, what your singlehood is, whatever it is, that needs to be looked at for you before we can say anything about what you should have, would have, could have. Some women are divorced and learning how to deal with money by themselves and cut their assets in half. Same with men, right? They cut their assets in half. Some women are widowed and sometimes there was no life insurance. Maybe they might get a better pension or half of their Social Security or their full Social Security when he passes away. Like there's lots of different things that are possible there. But we need to know what's happening. Some women have stayed home raising kids and now they're behind financially. I know that there's laws that we still can contribute to retirement homes if we're retirement funds, if we're a spouse of an earner, of a wage earner. There's different things like that, depending on where we're at and you're listening to this podcast and what year and all of that. I'm not a CPA, so I can't say it positively, but you'll have to do some research on that. Some built successful careers, but still carry a total huge bag of anxiety around their money. Many women secretly wonder, will I be okay? Can I really ever retire? What will my life even look like? I know a lot of women come to me with, will I be a bag lady? I had one friend come to me, will I be eating cat food? I want to do anything not to be eating cat food in retirement. These are obviously subconscious, unconscious beliefs that we have stored way back here from God only knows where. So we need to excavate these. This is where my diamonds come in, right? We are a lump of coal until we excavate this under pressure. And we turn into shiny diamonds when we absolutely know where we're at and we have a plan for our retirement. Now, I say the word retirement, but I just want to say freedom, financial freedom. And I want feminine financial freedom because it's not only the numbers for financial freedom, but it's also the feeling that goes with it. Our emotions have to be ready for our financial freedom because we won't get there until our emotions are there first. That's where money coaching comes in, y'all, just saying. So today I want to help you shift from this scary something retirement, whatever, into something intentional, because retirement is not just a math equation or financial freedom. As I said, it's a lifestyle conversation. It's an emotional conversation. It's a confidence conversation. And most importantly, it's not about the zeros. It's what we can do with the zeros for the rest of our life. So why is it so different for us? Well, statistically, guess what? We live longer. We live a lot longer. Women also are most likely to, be caregiving throughout our lives, earn less. There's still a gap. There's still a pay wage gap. So we're making less money than men, which means our Social Security is going to be lower, which means our retirement plans are probably going to be lower because we're putting, 15, 20% into our retirement plan. So that's going to be lower. We've been divorced, maybe widowhood, where we lose that second wage earner in our life. And we delay putting ourselves first. That's the biggie. We do not put ourselves first and our future first. And we also carry a lot more money stress around our decisions. And so we don't make decisions early and we don't make decisions confidently, and we might not make the right decisions. And that's why I do love everyone to have someone to, I say, money coach or financial advisor, just saying. But have somebody to talk to about this. We can't just keep it all up in our head. It never goes right when we do that. Many women weren't encouraged to learn investing, retirement income, or financial planning growing up, right? The little boy was taken aside to learn about money and what money is, and maybe even investing and earning compound growth and rate of return, and what is standard deviation, and what is even the stock market? What is stock, right? What is a bond? Like, what is a mutual fund? We have no idea. Instead, we were taught to survive. We were taught to just do the basics of keeping the house, cooking, cleaning, maybe just get a job. In fact, I hear that so many times. I even experienced it with my husband. You need a job. You need a job. No, not necessarily. If you have a side hustle, you can turn that into a business easily, or a second business, or a third business. We just need income, and we need to manifest our wealth. We need to look at things differently than just go get a paycheck. Now, I do believe emotions are different for business owners than they are employee-minded people, and that is wonderful. We all need both. We need business owners, we need visionaries, and we need employee people that want to come to work and support that vision. We have to have that. So it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. And it makes them feel better. It's kind of like if you're a morning person or a night person, you're not going to change your circadian rhythm, right? That is the way you were built. So sometimes it is the way you were built. If you need that paycheck coming in all the time, it's a little scary to go become a business owner. So you might want to do that as a side hustle only, even in that can be your creative outlet. But know who you are and know yourself. And that is okay. When we start thriving financially, what happens? We become intelligent, capable women who still maybe feel a little nervous about talking about retirement. That makes sense, right? That's more common than you think. Retirement is not just leaving a job or stopping the income coming in. It literally is, who am I, right? Who's my identity? I know men deal with this as well. What gives me purpose now? The kids are usually grown and gone, if you even had kids, right? What gives me purpose now? Will I feel lonely? Will I feel useful? Will I have a community? We do a lot about conversation. So who am I going to talk to when I retire or I'm not working for that company any longer? What if something happens medically? The number one concern right now is, how do I pay for medical before my Social Security and Medicare kick in? And I actually have a lot of people that retire early, and we plan for that because it's going to be a cost, and we need to have that money bucket to take care of that medical. What if I run out of money? I mean, that's scary, right? That's so scary. Like, would I have to go move in with my kids? Am I going to be a burden on my family? If I never had kids, where do I go at that point? Do I have to live in those horrible places that are 3 hots and a cot, right? All of these things, nobody talks about the emotional side of these decisions. And it is a huge emotional transition. Many women don't actually fear retirement. They just fear the uncertainty, right? They'd rather just get up and go to work every day. I have a friend that has a friend that is suffering from stage 4 cancer. Like it's terminal. And she's still working because it gives her purpose, right? She has something to do every day. And she feels like if she stops that, then it's kind of giving up on her life. So working gives us a purpose. It gives us a life. It gives us community. It gives us a lot. So we don't want to ignore that. We definitely want to look at that. But retirement's not just about the numbers. It's about the whole emotional, right? So when we're planning, we want to look at the financial preparation and the lifestyle preparation, because you can have the money, but still feel completely lost. And when you have purpose, you can feel that way, but then feel financially stressed. So we need both. The goal is alignment between both. One of the biggest mistakes people make is planning just for the numbers and leaving the lifestyle out of it. So we're going to look at that today, right? What do you actually want your life to look like? Do you want to travel? Do you want simple? Do you want your all your accounts in one place? Do you want, all your bill pay on? Do you want things just simple so you can go take that RV trip around the country? Do you want more time with your grandkids? If so, we're going to do some cost analysis around that. What does that look like? Are you going to downsize? Are you going to move closer to the family? Hey, are you looking for a second act, right? Maybe even a second career. Is your hobby that you've been doing this whole time maybe cooking healthy for your family? Maybe you want to turn that into cooking healthy for your neighbors and friends. That'd be great. Do you just want to volunteer? I met with a gal that definitely wants to volunteer. That's great. Do you want to start a larger business? Do you want just creative projects like me? When I scale down, retire is not going to be a word for me. It's going to be more of feminine financial freedom. When I hit that plateau and scale back my time in my business, I want to learn how to do pottery. We have a pottery shed for lack of a better word, and a wheel and all that stuff. There's a lot to learn with it. I'm going to learn how to play mahjong, right? These are the things that I'm planning on doing creatively to keep my brain going and purpose going and all that. Playing pickleball every morning. Whoop, whoop. That's me. I'm semi-retired now because I love my pickleball, right? Are we just going to get to renew our relationship with friends and have coffee more? Whatever it is, we want freedom from stress, right? So that's why we kind of want to plan all this out. I hope that sounds fun for y'all because I want you to enjoy it. Play music more. Crank it up inside the house, right? Don't wait till you're financially free at that point or retirement. Do it now. This is going to become more meaningful for you when we stop asking, how much money do I need? And start asking, what kind of life do I really want to create? Because everything changes. Now, I know healthcare and long-term care are huge concerns later in life. And women tend to be worried much more about the healthcare costs, which is a total valid concern, right? Prescriptions, caregiving, vision, dental, all that great stuff. This matters. Many women watch their parents age silently, thought, I will never want to become a burden, right? We never want to become a burden. That's why retirement planning should always include conversations around the healthcare costs and Medicare planning between now and 65 and then after 65, long-term care considerations. My mom had a couple strokes about 5 years ago. She's doing great. Her short-term memory is gone. She's 93. Her body's great. She's walking all over the place. Her health is great. She's only on 4 medications. Like, she could live for a lot longer, but we have to plan for that care. We spend a lot of money in the last years of our lives. Housing choices. Are you down to, maybe even share with a friend later in life? Not want to live alone if you're single. Making sure that you have an extra room if you want to have a caregiver come in. Support systems. We need help. We need to make sure that people know about this stuff. If you're not going to be in a retirement community where there's, like, I'm in a 55 and older community, so there's lots of education around everything around here, which is great. But we need the support systems around later years. Emergency services, where, who do we call? Where do we go? Like, I moved to a whole new state. I needed to know what the hospitals were around here in case something happened. Planning creates peace, y'all. It creates peace of mind, which means we have more room for abundance and fun. It's amazing. I even did my Neptune Society for my end of life. So my daughter has to call one number and that's it. They take care of everything else. So that's done and taken care of. That's a huge burden off my kids. I mean, my parents did it for me. And when my dad passed, it was easy, so easy. And it was so much better because then I could come for my mom and be there for my mom. Avoiding the conversation just creates anxiety. So I implore you all to have this conversation. Social Security is one of the biggest fears, right? And income confidence. Will I have enough monthly income coming in? Not just assets on paper, but we want to feel good, right? We want to feel good. Because I've heard from many women that their advisor has sat down with them and said, oh, you're okay, honey. Pat her on the hand. You're fine. You're going to be just fine. You're all good. And they still have so much anxiety. Like, I just had another retirement seminar here, and there was like 3 women said, I have a financial advisor and I still don't know if I'm okay, because the advisor's not going into enough detail that makes sense for them, and or it's just emotional. Woo woo, that's where I come in, right? If it's all emotional, that's when we need to take care of our beliefs and our wounds and heal that so that you can actually enjoy that later years in life, our 4th quarter or whatever, 2nd chapter, whatever you want to call it, right? So we need to understand Social Security timing. There's lots of choices. So we definitely want to understand that to plan better for that. Income sources. What other income sources can we create? I know we have annuities. I love annuities. I know we have cash value life insurance policies. We have individual pensions, if you're ever lucky to have a pension. The Social Security, that's one, right? I mean, it could be anything. It could be a loan that you put out years ago to somebody and your family's going to pay you back now. And we want to make sure that we know our spending plans. So I'm from California. And so a lot of people downsize and get out of California. And so when they're planning, we plan, years in advance, and we go, okay, let's look at this state. Let's look at this state. Let's look at this city. And then on their vacations, once a year, they go and travel there and see what it's like, see if that's where they want to be. And then we get the cost, and we have a plan A, plan B, and plan C, so that we can see what it's going to be. Spending changes throughout the country, 100%. Taxes, y'all. Taxes is huge. We never know what's going to happen. We never know what Congress is going to do with our tax brackets. We never know how many things it's going to attach to. We just don't know. So that's an unknowable, right? So we have to just be aware of where we're at currently and then plan for, worst case scenario, middle of the road, and then the greatest scenario. As long as we plan for it all, then it won't hurt so much when it happens. Healthcare expenses, we want to plan for that. Inflation. Oh my goodness. Inflation is a killer, right? Another unknowable. All we can do is plan for it and then let it go. Just let it go. This is what a lot of people don't do in retirement, is that emergency planning. Emergency meaning cash, money market, CD that you can get to, or cash, in my opinion, because it's going to happen now. So we need to be able to have money somewhere, a line of credit, credit cards, bank, something that, something happens. And like me, I fell down a few years ago and I knocked out my front teeth. Yeah, I did that, y'all. And so I had to have surgery within 2 weeks, 10 grand. Then I needed to go to the dentist, another 10 grand. Then I needed to put caps on and stuff. A few months later, another 10 grand. Like I needed to have that 10,000 sitting around altogether. It was like $35,000. Like that had to be sitting around somewhere so that I could get to it, especially the first 10,000. The rest you can usually get to, right? So all of this conversation does not have to happen all the time. It's a plan. You update it if things change. But other than that, no need to stress about it. It's just going to help you create more clarity and control. And I want to say something really important here. Financial confidence does not come from perfection. It comes from just understanding, okay? You do not have to know everything overnight. You just simply need to have a plan that helps you feel more secure, and we can update it and edit it as we go. Retirement and financial freedom should make you feel alive, excited. It's not supposed to feel like the end of life. It should make you feel like freedom and you live more intentionally. How am I going to make a difference now, right? Some women finally start traveling, build relationships, start businesses, volunteering, explore more habits, make health more important. How do you like that? Find peace, rediscover themselves, right? Like, who am I and why am I who I am? And then I like to be the matriarch of the family. Make sure your children know this. If you have family or nieces and nephews, make sure that they know this. And you pass down the story so that it can pass down to generations. Because y'all, we've lived through a lot. And we've lived through a completely different life than our kids are living through or our family are living through, right? So today I want you to remember this. Retirement planning for women is different. It just is. Because women's lives are different, planning is different. And our emotions are different. We carry experiences, emotions, responsibilities, and transitions that often don't fit inside a basic retirement calculator. Let's face it, emotions are not in that numbered calculator, y'all. It's just not. So that's why retirement planning is not just about the numbers. It's not. It's not about the zeros. It's about confidence. It's about security. It's about freedom. Another F word that I love. It's about purpose. It's about lifestyle. It's about peace of mind. And again, it's not about the zeros. It's about what we can do with the zeros for the rest of our life. Because at the end of the day, the goal is not to survive retirement. The goal is actually to live all the way up until the end. I just met with a gentleman and he said, I want my last check to bounce. I can't plan that good for you, but we're going to get close to it. I hope you all enjoyed today. Women in retirement planning is different, and I hope you make it a priority because you're going to feel so much better. I love it. I want you to be able to walk away from your retirement plan saying, I rock my finances.
We appreciate you joining us today, and don't forget to subscribe to the Rock My Finances YouTube channel for more engagement and bonus content. Tell me, what is your money story? Let's find out with Jennifer right here on K4HD Radio and Talk 4 TV. It's not about the zero, it's about the F word, feelings. Feelings Jennifer can't wait to explore with you next week. Until then, let's all say, I rock my finances.